Am I in the right link?
Professor Yu, yes, you're in the main group now. We'll have a breakout session in about 40 minutes after the presentations.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So for the breakout session, you don't need to do anything. We'll manage it.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Great.
All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The session will start in a minute. Just before we start, I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the KIWW supporters for coming for this session, especially the experts from overseas and from Korea, as well as the YP. And lastly, I'd like to thank the Executive Director of AWCYP for supporting us and the YP. Davida will be our MC for the session, and she will take over. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Andy. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The session is about to start. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Devita Sari. I will act as your MC and moderator for today's session, which is Asia Water Council Young Professional Session. On behalf of the Asia Water Council and AWCYP young professionals, it is a pleasure to welcome you all here. For this session, we will begin with welcoming remarks by Dr. Kyulho Kwak, President of the Korea Water Forum, and then we will be having Dr. Nirina Kadgi, who will deliver a brief overview of the AWCYP. Dr. Kadgi is an executive committee of NAYAN, and NAYAN is National Young Academy of Nepal, as well as Dr. Nirina is also a co-chair of AWC Young Professional. And then she will be followed by 4 speakers today. First, we will be having Mr. Heleno de Gouveia, a senior specialist for Inter-American Development Bank. And then we will be having Dr. Vladimir Sokolov from Agency of International Fund for the RLC Saving. And then Dr. Jensen Chow from Nanjing Hydraulic Research Institute, who will be presenting online. And we will be having Fisha Ranjan from the IUCN, International Union of Conservation Nature. I'm sorry, before that, we will be having Dr. Ignacio Darregibes from the International Water Resources Association, who is joining us online as well. And then the last speaker will be Fishan Ranjan from the IUCN. And we also have one special guest today, Mr. Namdafa Sainimek from Korea Development Institute of Public Policy and Management. Since there are many important and exciting matters to be discussed today and time is limited, so please welcome Dr. Kwak to deliver the opening remarks. Dr. Kwak, the stage is yours.
As introduced, I am Kwak, President of Korea Water Forum. Distinguished participants and young professionals, on behalf of the Korea Water Forum, I sincerely welcome you to the Korea International Water Week under the theme of fostering water environment resilient to climate crisis. KIWW provides a venue for participants to engage in discussions aiming at resolving global water challenges and achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. I want to thank the Asia Water Council for preparing this variable session focused on young professionals. Starting in July of 2012, we, the Korea Water Forum, hosted first Asia Pacific Youth Parliament for Water, which attracted youth and young professionals from across Asia, with a common goal having youth engaged as a key stakeholder focused on bottom-up challenges to encourage people to be more conscious on water-related issues. In 2012, young professionals prepared a declaration that stated they are deeply concerned with water and the sustainable quality of life, access to clean water and resolving water shortage, water and climate change adaptation, and transboundary water conflicts. Now, 10 years later, these same common issues still persist and affect people around the world. When the Korea Forum was first established, our aim was to strengthen partnership for international cooperation, propose water-related policy, and facilitate exchange between various stakeholders. The role of young professionals and youth has never been greater, and the Korea Water Forum welcomes the Asia Water Council Young Professional Initiative, and I hope we can find ways to have young people engaged and contributing to resolving water-related issues. They are our future and must be included in discussions that will directly affect themselves and future generations. We need to address intergenerational gaps to ensure the decision makers of today understand the unprecedented pressures young people currently face. In closing, we look forward not only today's session, but also future discussions on how young professionals from across Asia can be included at local, national, regional, and international stakeholders. Although the last few years have been very challenging due to COVID-19 pandemic, we have a meaningful opportunity here. We meet face to face to strengthen networks and discuss ways to resolve water-related issues. AWC, as well as KIWW, will continuously include young professionals from across Asia, and we welcome their voices. Thank you for giving me precious time to address my congratulation remarks to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kwok. We, AWCYP, for sure are looking forward to having more discussions with you all. Next, we have Dr. Gubeville. We'll say a few words on behalf of AWC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of AWC, I'm very pleased to be here with you for this new session. As you know, AWC is strongly advocating for education in the water sector, pushing for having new program and having the opportunity to exchange with young professionals is always first challenging, but very rewarding with what has been done within the institution, for sure. And as it was said, you are the future of the water sector. So it's extremely important to have this type of exchange, discussion, and to see how we can engage more collaboration with the young professional in different project activities within the future. I'm convinced that you are on the right way because the initiative was coming from you and not from us. So it's a good chance of success. And I'm sure that all the AWC members will be there to support, to assist, and to participate and amplify the actions that you have initiated. So I look forward to collaborate with you very closely in the coming months, events that are coming on the agenda. Many things will take place in Asia in the coming 2-3 years. So you have a chance to make it highly visible and to bring the voice of the young professional from Asia to the world. So once again, thank you very much. And I look forward to collaborate with you on behalf of my colleagues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gobofil. Next, we have Dr. Nirina Katgi, who will present us about the AWCYP. The stage is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. As our former speakers have already told us about how enthusiastic they are about the program, and I'm going to give a short summary of what we've been doing last year. So Asia Water Council Young Professional it was established on the 15th Board of Council meeting on the 2nd Asia International Water Week. Okay, so the main objective of the young professional group is to support and promote the interest of the young professionals in water sector through the participatory in the Asia Water Council activities. Our objectives align very closely to the Asia Water Council, and it connects the like-minded people, the young professionals from various countries and various groups. For establishing a meaningful network and provide the young professional the opportunity for the career development, because we see there's a gap for the young professionals from the academic career to the professional career. So we kind of tend to give them a platform to develop themselves in different skills through trainings, workshops, and programs. As I already said, the missions and the visions align very closely to that of Asia Water Council to uplift the sustainable growth in Asia by developing the water sector. So since establishment, where we signed the statement of how we are going to be committed towards the Asian Water Council Young Professionals, and we are going to make it a sustainable and an active group. We also had a session in the AIWW where we participated. The 9 founding members, as you can see, are from various countries in Asia of different expertise. In July, we were able to form the first cohort of the executive committee member, which consists of 2 co-chairs and 9 vice chairs representing all the 9 founding members. We are also, so far, we have 2 working groups to facilitate the activities of the young professionals, the public relations and webinar. So far we have been communicating, because this COVID situation had made us familiar with the online platform. So we have been hosting the meetings online once in a month. And we also have special meetings on demand, depending upon what situation arises. So we are always there, though we are not like fully committed, fully being able to give time, because we all have our own work. So, but we are always instantly in touch with the issues that are coming, and we try to address them as soon as possible. So these are some of the media outlets that we have in Facebook, Instagram. So as we are working more and more, we are also expanding our media networks. So in 2002, it's just been a year, but we have been able to do many different kind of activities. And one of the activities that is it's like wastewater treatment plant, we use this webinar. We're planning to make the webinar a long, kind of sustainable in a long way, so that we can make it a platform where we can share our learning, because we are from different groups, we all have different areas. So we are just using this platform to share what we know among the young professionals. And also the webinar, the topic of the webinar really varies. It's like from wastewater treatment plant to, the academic practices, the ethical academic practices, to the coastal disasters, and also it is very diverse actually. So it also opens the door for collaboration. Like if you're interested, but something new to you, or you can collaborate, there's always an open door for collaboration and knowledge sharing and dissemination. Despite of having our own activities, we also support individual members' activities through our network. So we supported AWC's and then CRS, RI's group through dissemination, and we try to spread the words of different members. So far, we have been doing this. Now, we are also planning to increase our collaboration with International Water Resource Association. They also have this early career young professional group. So similar groups, we're trying to get to know each other, and we are trying to collaborate in their works. Like they have this very interesting water networking global cafe, something similar to us. So we'll be collaborating with them in our future activities, as well as there is also the planning for the World Water Congress. We are looking what we can do and how we can contribute. So for the year 2023, I think 2022 has been very productive. So what we're looking, our plans are like to finalize. We're still new. So we are like finalizing our constitution, which is very important for the sustainability of the group. So how we can move forward sustainably in an organized and smooth manner and cooperate with AWC, even closer connection with the members and participating in their different activities and programs. This event itself has helped us so much to know about each other's work and how we can collaborating. So we are going to further discuss on that. And our goals is to establish an active and institutional, as well as individual members, and organize the webinars and other different kinds of get together to make our goals more effective and to attain much more that we can do it separately than with the senior councils. So, we also have one event tomorrow. We have a webinar. It's going to be a hybrid model. So if you have time, we would like to request you to scan the code to register for the webinar. And with that, I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nirina. Next, we have a presentation by Mr. Heleno Gouveia.
Annyeonghaseyo. Good morning, good afternoon, sorry. Very nice to be here. My name is Heleno Gouveia. I work in the Partnerships Office of IDB, the Inter-American Development Bank. My presentation is going to go over a bit what the IDB is, so that you have as a reference where do we work, and some opportunities for young professionals. Maybe just to start by mentioning that I'm not an HRD, human resources specialist. So I'm happy to respond questions, but my area of expertise is another one. I'm a resource mobilization specialist, trying to mobilize resources to complement our resources in the region, our projects in the region. So with that, I'd just like to introduce you to the IDB group. The Inter-American Development Bank is the leading source of finance for Latin America and the Caribbean. We provide lending for over 30 billion in 2021, basically supporting investment projects in various areas, including water sanitation, transport, energy, health, education, and others. We also have a private sector arm, which is called IDB Invest, which provides financing to private sector companies that want to invest in Latin America and the Caribbean. And we also have the IDB Lab, which support startups, and it's our innovation laboratorium for investing in startups in the region. We have 48 member countries, and 26 of these member countries are borrowing member countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. So we provide lending to 26 countries in the region, and we also have 22 that are non-regional and are not borrowing member countries, and they are scattered through North America, Europe, and Asia. In Asia, we have China, Japan, and Korea as members. So that means that citizens and companies from these countries can apply to bidding processes that are open by the investment opportunities that we have in the region. And also citizens of these countries can apply for job positions at the bank. The bank is headquartered in Washington, D.C. We also have offices in small offices in Madrid and in Tokyo, but we also have offices in all the 26 borrowing member countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. In terms of, I'm just going to briefly mention the relationship that we have with Korea. It's our 47th member, Korea. It started partnership back in 2005, and we have a very strong and complete collaboration with them involving knowledge exchange, also financial resources. We have structured with them a $900 million co-financing fund for co-financing with our projects in the region. And we also have a very strong relationship through the Korean Trust Funds, which is grants that Korea has provided for technical cooperation. Our official counterpart is the Ministry of Economy and Finance of Korea. With that, passing on regarding the human resources, we have around 7,000 employees from 48 nationalities, and there are 4 official languages in the bank, including English, French, Portuguese, and Spanish. So I'm just going to focus here on Korea because we are here in Korea, but just so that you have a reference. We have 13 staff from Korea from the 7,000. As you see, is a very small number compared. It's a very small percentage. We have 26 consultants and 7 secondees. If you see, it's really small compared to the total size of the organization. And I think that one of the main challenges that we face is the language barrier. The language, the official language of the bank are the 4 that I mentioned, and English is mandatory, but Spanish is very much differential. So it's been very challenging for us to find Korean colleagues that speak Spanish. It's not mandatory, but it will be ideal because most of the region we speak Spanish. So here is just for you to have a reference. We work on all these sectors, the sectors that I was mentioning before. And we have water sanitation both in the IDB and also in the IDB Invest, which is our private sector arm. In terms of the priorities on water sanitation, it includes expanding quality services for low-income and vulnerable populations, promoting comprehensive and sustainable solutions in terms of governance and financial sustainabilities of water utilities, and also wastewater treatment coverage and protecting watersheds. So these are the main areas that we focus on water sanitation in the region. We have a portfolio of around 8 billion in water sanitation, which is basically the portfolio that we have. The execution of projects usually tend to be of 6 years. So the 8 billion portfolio is the one that we have approximately 1.5 billion per year in approvals. In terms of the opportunities that we have for young professionals, it includes staff positions, consultancies, and internships. I understand this presentation will be circulated with you, so you can also have access to the detailed information on all the programs that we have. I myself started as an intern in the bank, so also as a young professional. The programs are open in winter and summer. And we also have another colleague who's also here today that he was a secondee, so basically a person that comes from another organization, works for the team for 1 or 2 years, and then goes back to its own organization. In his case, he was from Korean Exim Bank, and now he's back working with our department. Yeah, here again is more detailed information. I know it's quite small for you to read it here, but hopefully you have access to this information also in detail, including all the months where you can apply for these positions. So, and here you can have the link with all this information as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gouveia, for your interesting presentation. Next, we have Dr. Vladim Sokolov from Agency of International Fund for the RLZ Saving Agency of IFAS.
Good afternoon. Again, a few words about what kind of organization I'm here representing. So again, my name is Vadim Sokolov. I am from Uzbekistan. I am working as a head of agency for implementation of the projects under the umbrella of International Fund for Saving RLC. This fund was established by 5 countries of Central Asia in 1993. And my agency is especially agency for implementation projects on the territory of Uzbekistan by the funding coming from state budget of our republic as a contribution to IFAS, International Fund. So the main activities related to support young professionals in our region is doing executive committee of IFAS, which rotated each 3 years from country to country. And today, this executive committee located in Tajikistan. So most activity to support young professionals is doing through the executive committee. So we, like my agency, we have in other countries also for implementation projects. We just help executive committee to support this program. So we are not doing much special. We just trying to facilitate already existed opportunities for people, young people who would like to be the professional in especially water sector, environmental sector. And 3 main opportunities which we facilitate. The first one is education. Second one is we help young professionals to be penetrated in science and research works, and also those young professionals and students, we help for them special small programs related to capacity building. So about opportunities for education, in 2011 in Kazakhstan, in Almaty city, capital city of Kazakhstan, it was established Kazakh-German University. And this is in Central Asia, in 5 countries of Central Asia, we have more than 280 different universities. But this is the only one university which has a special master's program related to integrated water resource management. And 2 years ago, the second university, Tashkent Institute of Irrigation in Uzbekistan, also opened such program. So today we have these 2 universities where young professionals can receive the master's degree, especially on the integrated approach related to water resources. So IFAS, our institution, supported by a special grant program, 2 persons from each country in these universities. Also, we cover also Afghanistan, and moreover that today, even in today's circumstances when there are political regime in Afghanistan which not recognized by many countries, but still we have enough good workable communications with existed political regime, and we provide opportunity for young people from Afghanistan also to be a part of this program. So during last 10 years, we have already 90 persons who obtained these master's programs, and those professionals, young professionals, are very demanded in the different national authorities of all our countries. And also under this program, which we supported by a special grant, as I mentioned, 2 persons from each of 6 countries, Afghanistan also included. 1 position permitted by the national authority to submit and support a young person. And for second, it's a huge competition each year. So it's to become the student in this program, it's really a very challenging adventure for young people. Also, my agency last year, with support from Swiss Agency for Cooperation, SDC, we prepared very unique, on my opinion, very unique textbook on water saving technologies. So we involved also experts from Israel, from Spain, and we, in this textbook, demonstrated the world experience related to water saving technologies. And this textbook now this year was approved by Ministry of Education of Uzbekistan, and we use this very unique textbook for to support those programs which we have in Kazakh German University and Tashkent Institute for Irrigation Engineers. The second direction, this is science and research opportunities. So again, we have also in the same universities, we have PhD programs. For those programs to support, because nowadays young professionals, they face the problem for proper publication. So again, we supported publication, a special journal, Central Asia Journal on Water Resources, each supported by all these donors and international organizations. And young professional has opportunity to publish their articles on those topics which you can see, and how to submit papers and instructions. There is a link which could be used by all young professionals who would like to prepare and publish the paper. Oops, sorry. Something, one slide missed, I think. Also about capacity building program. So IFAS, our fund, support special summer schools each year. We have a very active NGO. So this is regional research network. We call this KIWW Central Asia Water Research Network for young professionals. And we support by small funding grants the summer schools, and already 2 years, last year and this year, Last year we organized such school, so this year we are going in June, July to organize such summer school on the right bottom of Aral Sea to demonstrate to people what is the results of improper water management. Also, we have some special grant program to support participation of young professionals to attend different global forums where young agenda exists. For example, last year we supported World Water Week in Stockholm for 2 persons from our region. Also, last year in October, we supported 2 young professionals in the climate change conference of youth KIWW in Glasgow. And also this year we supported 2 persons from our region who attended in Egypt the similar young conference in Sharm el-Sheikh. So this is our brief information of what we are doing, and more details you can obtain from the contact which I provided. And I would like to congratulate Asia Water Council, where I am a member of a board, that this year we organized this youth special movement under the umbrella of Asia Water Council. So we are very happy to cooperate with you and support all your initiatives and all your activities. Thank you.
Thank you for letting us know about all the programs, Mr. Sokolov. I believe that many AWCYP are ready to compete for those opportunities. Next, we have from Nanjing Hydraulic Research Institute, who is joining us online. Please welcome Dr. Jenseng Chow.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ginseng Zhao from HR, Nanjing Hydraulic Research Institute. Our research institute joined AWCYP last year as the 10th member of the YP of AWC. Today, I'd like to share some of our YP's program and activities in AHR. First, I'd like to introduce briefly of HR. HR is China's oldest institute of water science and engineering. It was founded in 1935. The institute subordinate to three ministries. The Ministry of Water Resources, Ministry of Transport, and Ministry of National Energy Administration. And I found there's some problem with my slides running because it doesn't move at all. I don't know why.
Okay, Dr. Zhao, yes,
yeah.
your slides are not moving, so I'm not,
now it's moving.
Now it's moving.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's because of the poor internet connections. Okay, I'm going on. Yeah, our institute now, they are at more than 1,500 staff working for the hydraulic engineering, inland waterways, and hydropower energies, hydropower engineers. The institute focus on the national key and comprehensive research program, including basic theory studies, applied researchers and technology development. Meanwhile, we also offer the education in the water science and engineering. Now there are over 50 disciplines and expertise, including hydraulics, hydropowers, and flood hydraulic research, and the inland waterways. So there are over 50 expertise inside of HRR, and we have 10 research department and 6 research base in HRR. In HR, we have the postdoctoral workstation for the water resources engineering. Meanwhile, we have a graduate school for PhD students and master students. Currently, there are over 500 postgraduate students who are working and learning in HR. We also have the cooperations with the universities such as the Hohai University in China, Tsinghua University, Wuhan University, as well as Chuan University. For the education collaborations, we also have other collaborations with the Ghent University in Belgium, Delft University in the Netherlands. Yeah, so there now 500 postgraduate students are working inside the HR. So so we set up the web young professional network inside of RHR, the International Association for Hydro Environment Research and Engineering. We also set up the PIANC China National Young Professional Group. So these 2 young professional group support a lot for the activities in IHR and PIANC. Later on, I will share you some activities we have done in HR, YP, and YPs. Okay, so currently we have 3 incoming YP collaboration project and 1 outcoming YP programs. The first incoming program, it was funded by the Ministry of Science and Technology. This project has been lasted for 4 years. We invite the senior researchers and young professionals to come to HR to do the collaborations and the research. So this project is just focused on the flood risk management and the ecosystem in Delta Ru. For example, we have invited the researchers from Delft University of Technologies to come to HR to do the collaboration on the coastal dike bridge. And currently, our young researchers have jointly conducting the research on the living dike, which was funded by the national research organizations of the Netherlands. So this is one example for the incoming YP collaboration project. Another project is the flood risk management of urban rivers. Actually, this project is designed for the principle and models of nature-based solutions and the sponge city concept in the urbanized areas. And this project, we invited the colleagues from Turkey, from Korea, to collaborate on this project. I don't know whether there's a colleague from KICT in Korea. So we have done a lot of work on this part. The third project is the digital twin integration of smart rivers. So this project, we just kicked off this project last month. This project will focus on the concept and model of a digital twin, and we will use the new methodologies of smart river and the digital twin concept. The project is also funded by Ministry of Science and Technology, PRC. In this project, we will invite the young professional researchers and the senior researchers collaborate with HR researchers to conduct the research. I think some colleagues from Korea, for example, Dr. Gu from KICT is also working in this project. This is the three incoming collaboration projects for the YPs. The next project is the young professional outgoing program from China Association of Science and Technologies. For each year, the cast will fund the young professional from HR to go abroad for a technical visit or academic exchange. So this project has been lasting for 3 years, and every year we will send at most 5 young researchers to go to European universities and institute. So the objectives of this project is to set up a platform for science and technology collaboration for the young professionals.
Dr. Zhao.
Yeah.
Just can you wrap it up in 1 minute? I apologize, just due to time limitation. We will share the PPT at the end. So in the document we disseminate. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh yeah, sorry. I will go faster. I think this is the 3 programs we conducted in 4 programs, and this is I will fast my slides. In 2022, we have conducted 2 activities inside of the HR YPs. We organized the Smart Rivers 2022 conference. We in this big event, we organized the YP paper and presentation competitions. Finally, we select 4 winners. Especially, we have to see the young professionals support a lot for this event, and they work for the secretaries of the local organizing committees. And the next 2 events we are ongoing is we will support the 3rd HR Young Professional Congress by the HR YPN. And we will also support the Young Professional International Virtual Event 2022 by Pyongyang China YP Group. This is the 2 events will be held this month and the next month. I think that's all for my presentation, and we hope we can contribute to the AWCYP, and we will looking forward to collaborate with colleagues face to face inside of the AWC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chow. Thank you, Dr. Chow.
Yep. Thank
Next, we also have the next presenters who is joining us online from the International Water Resources Association, Dr. Ignacio Terequipus. The screen is yours.
Okay, so thank you, and hello to all of you there joining us remotely or on site. My name is Ignacio Terequipus. I'm the Deputy Executive Director of the International Water Resources Association, IWRA. And thank you a lot to Andy and his team for putting such an interesting session together, which is of high value. So in the next couple of 5 minutes, I would like to briefly touch on who we are, the IWRA, what we do, particularly in terms of youth programs, and why we do it, which is possibly more important than anything else. So IWRA, it's a multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral platform with more than 2,500 members from all around the world. That includes students, academics, scientifics, organizations, institutions, national agencies, that they come together in a forum to share their knowledge, disseminate research, collaborate, network, so they can link the science policy arenas for the sustainable management of the world water resources. So the question is, how do we do that? And I must tell you that we rely on 3 main pillars, one being events, and it was mentioned before by Nirina. We are organizing the World Water Congress, its 18th edition next year in Beijing from the 11th to the 15th of September in China, together with the Ministry of Water Resources of China. So this is one of our biggest events, but we, of course, we do masterclasses, we do webinars, online conferences, etc. Then another big pillar of our activities are the events, the projects that are done in partnership with the Asian Water Council, with the World Water Council, with UNESCO IWCSM, in terms of water quality, water security, smart water management. And the third pillar are publications. You may be familiar with our flagship publication, which is called Water International. These are 8 issues that we publish per year based on scientific and policy-oriented articles. We also invite our members to join forces and to group together in order to work under the same sort of interest and water topics. Of course, the executive office and the board provide all the support to these members, so they can establish what we call task forces, under which we have different working groups. These task forces, they help us implement our events, our publications, and our projects that if it was in an individual basis, they will not be accessible for our members and even for our partners. One of our most active task forces, one of the 7 or 8 task forces that we currently have, is what we call the Early Career and Young Professional Task Force. These are, again, new starters in the water field or people that are changing careers, that they are part of the age group of 18 to 35 years old, that they come together to better understand the needs and the interests of other members, that they want to also showcase what they're doing and promote their activities through IWRA, that they also want to excel and they want to grow in their careers to develop more skills and capacities. They also want to engage with other task forces, chapters, IWRA committees, etc. And then, of course, they want to raise the profile of early career and young professionals and the voices to have a seat also on the table. Some of the recent activities of the early career and young professionals, as mentioned again by Nirina, included social media activities through, for instance, video series on why water. We asked the youth why they started their careers on water, or why they saw water as very important in their professional and personal lives. We also developed webinar series with experts, senior experts in different international organizations and agencies, just to name a few, on transboundary water governance in the in the Arab world, the role of WASH and SDGs. And we partner up with many different youth initiatives, including the World Youth Parliament for Water, the European Youth Parliament for Water, UNESCO's Groundwater Youth Network, to organize what we call the Water Global Networking Cafes. And shortly we'll have more together with the Asian Water Council Youth Program. And on Twitter, we launched what we call the Water Speaks. So these are live podcasts to share the latest knowledge and to connect with representatives from different events. It's like the World Water Forum that took place in Dakar, or Korea International Water Week, in all its different editions. Of course, this is not the end of the road, and in terms of collaboration with the youth for IWA and this task force, I must admit that they keep us very busy. They are always challenging us, and they are always pushing us to do different innovative and projects and initiatives. And for instance, now we will launch the intergenerational dialogue sessions in December until March. That the idea is to put together young experts with senior experts under the same space and time, so they can talk about different water topics, including for this first edition, groundwater and climate change, groundwater and water quality, and so on and so forth. We will also invite them to publish articles, peer-reviewed articles in Water International with senior members, and to become rapporteurs in the next edition of the World Water Congress, again in Beijing, in China, in December next year. Another big part of our youth program is what we call the World Water Envoys program. This is a program that we launched last year in Korea in our 17th World Water Congress, which brought together local representatives from communities from all around the world that showcase the water problems and challenges to high-level representatives, senior experts, again, organizations, institutions, to find potential responses. Out of 100 applications, we selected 5 young representatives, or 5 envoys. These are ambassadors, again from local communities that are aiming to take action for the achievement of the SDG 6 and the 2030 agenda. And so we selected Georgina from Zimbabwe, looking into water supply, Dipesh from India, focusing on water and sanitation, Maria from the Dominican Republic, concentrating on urban river management, Bayan from the West Bank in Palestine, looking into agrochemical pollution, and last but not least, Pallavi Pokarel, with only 22 years old, from Nepal, focusing on groundwater pollution. So as you can see, we put a strong focus on the gender balance, also on the age balance, so we could represent envoys, or we could buy envoys from the age, again, from 18 to 35. Also in terms of geographical representation, including Asia, Africa, the Middle East, the Americas, and in terms of topics. And the good news is that this year, we follow up with them. They reported back on what is it that they've learned from the Congress and what they've implemented in the local communities. And we won an award and grant. This grant, which is a financial support to our activities, will help the next mentors in China to further implement their local actions in their communities, again, to help achieve the SDGs and the 2030 agenda. So we value a lot the work of these envoys, and we, in such a way that we invite them to become part or participate in board meetings throughout the year. We also invite them to publish articles in Water International. We turn them into gold members so they can access all benefits of IWA, and they will also be the mentors of the next World Water Envoys for the next Congress in China next year. So with that, I just wanted to give you a small snapshot of what is it that we do with the youth program in terms of the early career and young professional task force and the Envoys program. But of course, we do more. We invite youth to become part of our board, of our executive board, to represent us in events and other activities. So I'm all ears, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know as we help further the actions and activities of the next generations forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Derejibus. The last presenter, we also have him joining us online from the International Union of Conservation Nature, Visha Ranjan.
Greetings, Visha, are you there?
Oh, sorry. My I'm really sorry. My video and mic was muted and I was just speaking. So can you hear me now?
Yes, clearly. Thank you.
Okay, so hello everyone. Really great to be here and interacting with the young professionals and other distinguished guests from different organizations. My name is Vishwa Ranjan Sinha. I work as a program officer for water and wetlands, focusing on South Asia and also nature-based solution and its application in water sector. So I felt like I can quickly introduce you to what we are and what we can offer to the youth going forward, especially some priority areas related to water and nature-based solution. So IUCN is very IUCN is a very old organization. It was founded in 1948, and it is a union of organization which includes both governments and civil society organizations, and also individual experts, more than 1,000 commission members. So we have different commissions on species, ecosystem management, communication commission, and this is one of the opportunities where youth professional can engage and network with individuals across the world working on a specific issues. So it's a informal, it's a involuntary, it's a voluntary association. So something that you can explore and look at. IUCN vision is about influencing change by generating and using knowledge, finding and demonstrating solutions to the conservation and development challenges. One of the things that we really are proud of is our long-standing history, and IUCN is only environmental organization with observer status in United Nations General Assembly. We have a long-term engagement with youth because we consider youth as an equal partner in the conservation and the development initiative. In 1959, IUCN was engaged in the foundation of what was called the Youth Federation for Environmental Studies and Conservation, which actually was very active till 1990 and provided a lot of inputs to the CBD and other international agreements that came into force. Currently, we are guided by our strategy 2023-2030. Sorry for a mistake here, and various World Conservation Congress resolution, which aims to for the IUCN to work on empowering youth ambassadors and youth leaders. So now this is something as youth professional you need to understand, especially if you are looking at water and nature-based solutions and how you can engage with IUCN, what IUCN brings for you. So we have this long-term a big networks of commission through which we work on in-depth scientific knowledge and assessment of fresh water. So generating evidence on the health of ecosystem. And that's where we engage with youth through different tools like citizen science approach, you know, as you know, champions and members into the networks working on these issues. Nature-based solution strategies. So IUCN has developed a global standards and implementing several projects on water and how nature-based solution can be integrated into it. And also transboundary water governance. So you must be knowing that across Asia, there are a lot of shared water resources, big rivers like Mekong, Ganges, Brahmaputra, Indus. And unfortunately, there is no comprehensive basin-wide agreements on how to manage these shared water resources. And there is limited work happening at the government level in terms of holistically looking at basin management. And that's where we really feel that youth can play a big role. We need to work now in developing the future leaders who will be more open to discussion on transboundary water governance and will promote cooperation in that area. IUCN is also, you know, working very closely with the Ramsar Convention, which is on wetlands. Basically, our knowledge and experience in ratifying, understanding, and implementing Ramsar Convention. So that is something. These are the 4 areas which is what we can offer to the youth professional. I will just take like 2-3 minutes to go a bit deep into number 2 and 3, which is under nature-based solution and transboundary water governance, just to show you what we are doing and what it means. So IUCN has developed a global standard on nature-based solution. Idea here was that there are so many different terms working around ecosystem restoration, ecosystem-based adaptation, green infrastructure, area-based conservation strategy. And there was also a concern globally that many times nature-based solution is being used as a greenwashing strategy. So for a common communication and understanding of what it means, IUCN worked with more than 10,000 you know, experts and policymakers to develop these guidelines. So this is one area where we can provide capacity development opportunities for the youth professionals. Just wanted to show you what actually nature-based solution means, the way we define it. So there are two sides of nature-based solution as we see. It's about managing and restoring natural or modified ecosystem to address societal challenge. So you do restoration and support the ecosystem management and link it to the societal, then it becomes a nature-based solution. And if it is not providing human well-being and biodiversity outcomes together, a solution cannot be considered as nature-based solution. Some of the criteria which are identified, so this basically tries to kind of organize our thinking on how we monitor, verify, plan a nature-based solution program at different scales. So identifying the challenges, understanding the economic viability, So how you, it's important that what we are proposing is economically viable. We understand the trade-offs with the different sectors. We understand how it can be better monitored through inclusive and transparent, empowering governance mechanism. So 8 criteria and a lot of indicators that people can use to assess whether certain thing is nature-based solution, or even think about designing a project. So it's available online. You're most welcome. IUCN has also opened an academy and doing certification course. We also engage in region-specific, stakeholder-specific capacity building programs. NBS, this is one diagram that we need to understand why NBS and water management, especially the shared water governance, is important. It provides us an approach, a range of approach which can be applied together to manage a basin which is very diverse in the real world. So how we conserve, where we need to conserve what kind of interventions are required where. So understanding it at this scale, and that's where working at basin and scale is important. So what we have done is, like in the Ganges, Brahmaputra, Meghna River Basin, we engaged youth in documentation of local solutions and publishing it as case studies and lessons learned. Also engaging with youth in organizing events at global level, like World Conservation Park, Grace and Marcel, to disseminate learnings from the region. As a transboundary water governance program, this is a global map of our flagship program. But as you can see in the Asia region, we are working in the Mekong and Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna River Basin. And we try to engage youth in regional dialogue, their capacity building on legal aspects, principles related to international water laws. And, it's become sometimes a bit technical. So our experience has been that how you can make things interesting for the youth so that they are actively engaging. So 2021, we organized a regional forum on the Meghna River Basin. And one session was led by youth. It was called the River Game, connecting the children and youth to the river through edutainment. So edutainment as a strategy to reach out to the youths. From employment perspective, we have this IUCN Human Resource Management System. You can find it on the Google. There are open vacancies, a lot of jobs I see for the young people and those who are below and looking for new opportunities and to work across the world. So thank you very much. This is it from now. Hope to continue the discussion with you all going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Fisharanjan. So there we have it, already 5 speakers who shared about the lot of opportunities and potential collaboration for the young professional. Next, we have Mr. Nyamdava Sainimak from Korea Development Institute of Public Policy and Management, who will deliver the message from his institution.
I can use this. 안녕하세요. Good evening. First, I would like to introduce myself, and my name is Nyamdava Sainimak, and I have been working in Mongolia's water sector for 8 years, from 2014, and I have joined Mongolian Water Service Regulatory Commission of Mongolia after my graduation from my university. And currently I'm studying at Korean Development Institute as a Master of Public Management. And I'm a student right now. And my background is financial management, and most of my undergraduate classmates are working in financial and economic sector right now. And sometimes they ask from me why are you still working in water sector? And what's your role in water sector management? So I always give an answer using a Dublin's principle, which adopted in 1992, exactly the year I was born. And water is no different from any other economic good. It is no more a necessity than food, clothing, or housing, all of which obey the normal laws of economics. Therefore, as a water tariff specialist, my responsibility is always try to make a financial environment which enables the utility companies to cover the cost and supply the good quality of water to the consumers. And to talk about the Mongolian water resource management briefly, we have almost 250 sunny days in a year, almost 2 out of 3, and it means that in fact the rainfall in Mongolia is very low. Annual precipitation level is very low. So for example, yearly average precipitation is 350 millimeters in the north side of Mongolia, 80 millimeters in the south side of Mongolia, the Gobi Desert. In terms of water availability per capita, the average water endowment is high for the country as a whole. However, regional differences in rainfall and population result in local hotspots of water insecurity, particularly in capital city of Ulaanbaatar. It is the coldest city in the world, where the half of the population lives, and the Gobi region, where the mining companies working, it depends on water for the operation. And from the point of view of financial capacity of water sector in Mongolia, due to the low economic growth of country and poor purchasing power of consumers, we are still unable to recover the operation cost of our water utility companies. And because of those advantages, the number of students studying in this field is decreasing right now, and there is a possibility of shortage of human resource in water sector. But the organizations such as AWC and KIWW proves that our young professionals have opportunity to study abroad and broaden our knowledge in water sector. So I would like to express my appreciation for support in funding the AWC scholarship in Korean Development Institute. So, this kind of events will, I hope that this kind of events will continue in the future. So that's my word. 감사합니다. Thank you.
Davida, I apologize, just 1 second. Before we start the discussion session, a few guests have to leave because of unexpected dinner schedules and appointments. So just give a second before we move on to the discussion. And definitely, one more time, we'll share all the information from Session11 and follow up.
So can we continue?
Yes, sorry, so we're going to thank you, David.
Thank you, Andy. So thank you, Mr. Nimdava. Sorry for the mispronunciation. So now we are moving on to the discussion portion of the session. For the discussion, we will break out into 3 groups. The first groups will be conducting offline here. So let me check who is still here. For the experts panelists, we have Dr. Philip. No, so I'll just explain for the second group then. The second group and the third group will be joining online. I would like to thank Ignacio Teregibus from the IWRA, Hanif Sulaiman from U-Inspire, and Fangxi and Xin Zhang from CRSRI, and Dr. Chow from NHRI. And for the third group, I would like to thank Professor Shi Yu Leong. Are you there online? Mr. Fisha Ranjan from IUCN, Dr. Sok Hwan Jang from Beijing University, and Mr. Firdaus Ali from the AWC for the third group. So for sure, thank you for the all young professionals who are present here offline and online. Thank you for your interest and support. So before beginning the discussion, I will briefly explain the format for this portion. First, we have approximately 30 minutes to discuss the questions which have already been distributed in advance. For each 3 breakout groups, offline included, we will settle later. We have already designated a facilitator and note taker. Following today's session, minutes and the discussion will be shared with all participants via email. And AWCYP looks forward to follow-up meetings with those who are interested. Without further ado, so let's break into 3 groups then. So for those who is joining online, there is a pop-up message that you will be divided into a certain group. Please click yes. And
All right, wait 1 second. We're just fixing the online portion because we're missing a moderator, and then we'll start the discussion in here. So bear with us for 1 second. Sorry. All right, greetings everyone. I apologize for the technical difficulty. We're having problems with the breakout session. So I think the easiest solution because of time constraints is just let's do one group session instead. So I apologize. I especially apologize to the online participants because we're hoping to have more discussion. But can you please? So maybe.
So we have our panelists. So one group only, yeah? Can you highlight, spotlight the panelists, please?
All right, due to technical difficulties, I'll just start the discussion. I really apologize for how to start with, as you know, the online panelists, the 4 questions we're giving. All right, so let's start with question number 1, and I'd like to start maybe with, just give me 1 second, how about, let's start with maybe Dr. Ali from AWC. Question number 1. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay, the question number 1 is, what are your thoughts on the current status of youth professionals engagement in relation to your organization and in broader context of international cooperation?
All right, so Dr. Lee, are you there? Okay. If not, then how about we'll pass the question to Professor Yui. All right, the same question goes to you. Your thoughts on what the current status of youth professionals engagement?
I think we came back to the main room. You have to.
Yes, we came back to the main room. I don't know why. I think they have feedback to us, say there is a technical issue of the Zoom. So, okay.
I think the organization should make the extension of the time for the breakout session meeting, because maybe the extension of this breakout session was set previously only 3 minutes ahead.
Yes, that makes sense. Means they have already set the meeting to close at 6:30. So we have already 6:30. So the Zoom just forcibly push everyone back to the main room. I think that's the issue.
So maybe you can just moderate. Only one moderator can moderate all of the speaker to talk about the STEM questions. So maybe you can try to start our comments rather than me. I will take over. So I suggest you will be the only one moderator for this session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, if anybody no objection, I will have the honor to moderate this session. So means the group 2 and the group 3 will be merged together. So we have a no limit time for this kinds of discussion. Okay, so since in this situation we will just jump this kind of introduction, just go to the 4 questions. So for the first question, there will be what are your thoughts on the current status of youth professional engagement in relation to your organization in the broader context of international cooperation? I think just now Ignacio have already started with this question. Ignacio, are you okay to proceed with your thoughts or sharing about this question?
Yes, exactly. So my idea was to a little bit break the ice in the first or the second breakout room. So I was trying to remind the speakers of what is it that we did, or what is it that we do, and also look forward to do. And so we channel lots of our youth activities again through our early career and young professional task force. We also launched the World Water Envoys program. We also invite the youth to become part of our board, of our executive board, and to represent us in different international events, especially the World Water Congress, or when we go and participate in the Korea International Water Week, the World Water Forum, etc. So of course we can be doing much more, but while we're doing all these activities, we always keep in mind the different balances that I mentioned. So we try to represent the youth from starting from the 18 years old to 35 years old. Then we also look at the gender balance to have that evenly distributed, as well as the geographical balance. Again, so we have representation from Asia, from Africa, from Europe, from the Middle East and the Americas, and also when possible, also having the topic representation or balance. So that means that we want youth voices to be talking about different water challenges and not just one of them. So I'll leave it there. And then I'll react and ask more questions. I hope that will trigger some good discussion.
Okay, we proceed with the question 1, and then we asking for Professor Leong. Are you still online? I see that you are going. You need to leave soon because of your lecture. So may I? We discuss about the question 1. So what are your thoughts on the status of youth protection engagement? Professor Leong, are you still online?
Yes, can you hear me now? All right.
Yes, sure, perfect.
Quick one. I listened to all the presentation this morning. In principle, my view is the following. When you have an organization, wherever you work on, there are seniors and the juniors, obviously. The senior will have to retire and the junior will just join in. Now, all the projects will have both senior and junior. Now, we make sure that the juniors will participate as if they are really full-timers. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, when they have to go for presentation, like international presentation, I believe it's not nice to just put all the juniors in one particular group. They have to go through all this whatever the necessary path. Now, the presentation itself should have the names of the junior and then the seniors as well. Now, with that understanding, I won't be surprised that the senior, the fact of the matter, their names are on the PowerPoint or submission itself with the 2 senior guys. They will be concerned with the quality of the presentation. That said means that they will have to go through presentation before they go overseas or online. So that put the pressure for the juniors and the senior as well to have a good presentation. Now, well, I listened to the presentation earlier with I think the one in Nanjing, that they have a collaboration with the Delft side and this and that. I'm not quite sure what that means. Just a collaboration with Delta Risk or the Delft Hydraulic side, just for the junior group. I'm not quite sure what that means. Sorry for that. Okay, so naturally it should come naturally. In addition to that, also to me it doesn't make sense also with the gender differences. I don't know why you have to worry about female or male. Doesn't matter. They all every one of us have the same voice. Okay, thank you.
Totally agree. I think for the youth engagement is not separately for youth, it's to emerge in the whole academic discussion.
to ensure the quality, make sure that the seniors in the group, they have to be concerned about, because it reflects the organization quality.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now let me invite Dr. Ali to discuss about this issue. So please share your thoughts about youth engagement in your organization or other thought about it. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Phong. So I think, yeah, I totally agree with the Professor Yui. So, and I think in many countries, yeah, the gap between young youth or young professional with the senior one is very quite significant. So that's why I think in last decade we try to push more young professional to get involved in so many projects related to water, especially in Indonesia. For example, in Ministry of Public Works and Housing in Indonesia, we now have the we call it PUPR Muda. I think this in English is young worker for the Ministry of Public Works and Housing. So that's the way how we try to push the young professional to become involved in so many projects. So the engagement will become how can you say it, become training, a life training center to increase the capacity and also the knowledge of the young professional, and also to give them more opportunity to get involved, yeah, and to see so many challenges and so many alternative solutions that we have to discuss together, and also to execute how to solve so many problem in our lifetime. So I think, yeah, based on that, so many presentation that I learned from so many speakers. So the focus, so many engagement to invite the young professional to get involved in so many international activity. I think to become more a strategic way to get young blood, yeah, to help us to solve so many water-related issues in the future. That's my comment, Phong.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I will try to inviting the experts. So next, I will invite Hanif. Since you are still the note taker, I still want you to share your thoughts about it.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you very much. I am representing Unspire Alliance. Unspire Alliance is an alliance of Unspire national chapters. So far, we have 14 national chapters. We are youth and young professionals who are working on disaster risk reduction. And I am based in Indonesia, and we are also part as AWCYP. And what I would like to say is, I think based on the title of the discussion itself is on how can we involving youth or young professionals and then combining it with the goals of SDGs. I think first of all we have to explore the core concept of around your organization and also the SDG to understand the challenges facing by YP or young professionals today. And then we should identify and prioritize the specific SDGs and the relevance to your organization. And then from the challenges, find out how to use the SDG impact and the assessment tools to build challenges that is ambitious enough and also breakthrough with impacts to the societies and also through your life or like career as young professionals, because we know that we have the duality of young professionals. So we have work and also we have our own organizations, and we are trying to solve a problem together with other young professionals, and also learn how to generate new ideas and use the tools to move an idea from a concept into fully defined projects, and also move your projects solution to a more refined version through testing, validation, also collaboration with other young and youth and young professionals, and also expand it internationally. I think that's for me. Back to Fangze.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Okay, now I would like to invite Professor Vishava Ranjan. I'm not sure what I pronounced right. Okay, are you there? Professor Vishava?
Almost there. Thank you very much.
Almost there.
Yeah, so I'm not a professor, basically, but I'm working with an international organization, IUCN. I don't know if you've heard. IUCN is known for its red list of species, which is a global database on endangered species, like endangered extinct species. But IUCN also works a lot on valuing and conserving nature and equitable governance of nature. And that's where the whole, the water related issues come. In terms of how well we are engaging, so we are engaging with the youth at different levels, and we have the strategy is basically based on different work, like networking of youth at the global level. So Global Youth Summit is organized by IUCN, providing spaces for young leaders. It's also about identifying and empowering champions, which is done through different project activities. So it's not like we have a global program, but through different projects. We currently, for example, we are working on a water futures program for a Meghna River basin, which is shared by Bangladesh and India. And here there are different strategies to engage youth, bringing youth together through river camps, engaging youth in documentation of nature-based solution and how it can be applied in case of water and river basin management. So using this strategy to kind of build their capacity, and also amplifying the voices of youth on the need for transboundary water cooperation. So they understand that what are the principles, how they can advocate for those principles. So some of the ways in which we are engaging and would be engaging in future. One also important strategy is to work with partners on human rights approach to water management or ecosystem conservation. Many times what is and kind of working with youth for monitoring. If there is there's a very specific example from Bangladesh where Hilsa is a very important fish revered by the people, but its population was dwindling and government came up with very strict restriction, banned the fishing of Hilsa, which had impacted the fishermen community. And we worked with youth actually to highlight that issue. So Hilsa Watch, so how the communities are affected, if they are affected, youth writing stories. So first making them understand the issue and then working with them to disseminate, to build advocacy strategy around it, target different stakeholders. So I think that's where I will stop. I've also spoken a lot during the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and next I want to invite Dr. Zhao to share thoughts about this current professional engagement relation to your organization in a broader context of international cooperation. Dr. Zhao, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Currently, in HR, the YP's engagement in the international cooperations is very poor. I think there are several reasons for this poor status. First, most of the YPs, especially for the postgraduate students, should pay attention to their study, their thesis writing, and their own research. So they cannot divide or separate a lot of energy on the international cooperations. They just focus on their own research and completing their thesis and obtain the degree for master or PhD. So this is the one reason. Another reason for the junior researcher, most of them are busy with the research project consulting task and professional ranking applications. So they don't have enough time to get involved in the international collaboration. By the way, most of the junior or YPs, the junior researcher or YPs, they almost lose their capability of English communications. I know several of my colleagues, they cannot open their mouths to speak English frequently. So it is a little pity that they almost give up their communication tools of English or other language. So this is the problem. The third problem is that for the international corporations, it costs money. It costs money. So personally, I think personally, I think the YPs don't have enough fundings to support their international corporations. As you know, if you travel abroad, so it needs the funding or need money. So if the organization or institute doesn't support the YPs, then they won't have this opportunity to do the cooperations. Certainly, I think because of the corona pandemic all over the world, this crisis has been blocking the YPs to go for the international cooperation face to face. I think face to face communications are very, very important. I don't think the room or the online meeting is a good way for the international corporations. So I'm looking forward more and more face-to-face communication for the international corporations. And last, I think because HRR subordinated to 3 ministries, so every year we have to submit the international cooperation cooperation numbers, the amount of the cooperation numbers or tasks. So this and the applications of the international cooperation tasks should be approved by the ministries. So if the YPs haven't submit this kind of application, they cannot join the international corporations. So this is my personal opinion for this question. That's all. Yeah,
okay,
thank
you, Dr. Zhao. I think Dr. Zhao have not only sharing his thought about the first question, but also for the third and the second question. So things for the time limitation, and I will try to go to the next stage for free discussion. So especially for question 2 and question 3. Question 2 will be the YP's engagement in international cooperation, how to strengthen the international cooperation. And the third question will be what kinds of opportunity your organization can provide to for young professionals. So I will try to merge in these 2 questions together, and then to asking for our attendees to share their thoughts. Before inviting the experts to sharing, I myself want to share this kind of thought about this, because I have our organization is also staying on the research institute, and we have more than 1,000 staff And I've already do a calculation. I think more than 35 of the staff of our institute is below age of 35. So there is a huge numbers of young professionals in our institute. I agree with Dr. Zhao have mentioned that because of the COVID-19 and these kinds of blocking issue, it seems to be quite hard for the young professionals to attend the international conferences, and they lack the chances to sharing their thoughts, sharing their research works. That's a very real fact. If let's say we go to how to strengthen this, I think the first thing the organization or how do you say the society needs to do is to firstly to give them the resources. So I think currently there's a lot of international conferences happened all right with different under different association. As I know, Ignacio have mentioned, the World Congress will be held in 2023 in Beijing, and I think the IHR Congress is also to be held next year. So I think the opportunities are there. So the one thing is, I think every organization, the people in charge of international cooperation should gather these kinds of information together and sharing to the young professionals to let them know there's a lot of opportunities there, so they can submit their abstracts, they can submit their papers, so they have a chance to attend the meeting, to do the poster, or even do a technical exchange in the meeting. So I think the first thing the organization needs to do is having these kinds of authorities for the young professionals. The second thing I need to strengthen is the young professionals themselves. They should have how do you say, have the courage to share. I think now the language is not an issue because I think there's interpreters everywhere. And I think if they're familiar with the research works, I think it's very easy to do a presentation with the English language. So for the young professionals, first thing they need to give the opportunity. Secondly, they need to have the courage to voluntarily to submit their abstracts, submit their papers, to voluntarily share their thoughts. So that's the second thing I need to strengthen the international cooperation. So go back to the third question, what our organization will be providing for the young professionals. I think the first thing is to have an internal, this kinds of platform for young professionals to have a rehearsal. So it means, let's say for our institute, CRSI, currently attending this meeting, we have Kevin, me, and Dr. Gao, and also for Zhenxin. So inside our institute, we have put up a platform called Youth Salon. So it's a routine academic exchange program. So people, for a young professional, have this kind of platform to share their thoughts. And later, we will, have this kinds of database of the international conference informations to share to them and encourage them to go abroad. And the third thing is we set a fund, especially for international travel, the fund to supporting their international travel. So these are, I think, the things I can think about to strengthen the international cooperation for youth professionals, and also the things they're going to do in the following years. Okay, I will give the floors to all the attendees. Anyone who have any thought about these two questions can freely to share their thought.
I apologize, Fanze, and online members. Just before you answer this question, the on-site person, many of them have to go now because we're almost 30 minutes behind schedule. I apologize for the technical difficulties, and online, you can keep going with the discussion, absolutely, because we will disseminate all the information. But at the same time, for some of the questions, if those who did join online, did not have the chance to answer, please submit the answers in writing, because we are going to put this together in one formal document and email all the participants, all the presentations, all the contact information, so we can share this information. And as Fanji just said, we can collectively discuss these again down the road. It's not something, this is not a one-time show or event. This is a starting point. So I do apologize because the on-site people do have to go, because the 7 o'clock is the limit for us here. But like I said, for those who are online, if you do need to go, please, I fully understand and do apologize. If you'd like to continue the discussion, keep going, no problem. And thank you.
Okay. So anyone want to share their thought? I think we have several minutes.
Okay. Fangzi, so I would like to respond on your questions in my case and also in Indonesian case. Yeah.
Can you mute that?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, perfectly.
Sorry. So I think, yeah, in Indonesia, Ministry of Public Housing, and also in my organization, Indonesia Water Institute, yeah, luckily I have so many.
Like Andy mentioned today, just now, that.
Hello. Yeah, my staff is actually all of them is a young professional. So yeah, I try to push them to get involved in every even in Indonesia, and also in Ministry of Public Works and Housing. My minister always put the first priority for the young professional to get involved, not just nationally, also internationally. Yeah, for example, we send maybe 2 or 3 young professionals to attend the UN Groundwater Summit in France, and also we send them to Dakar to attend the 9 World Water Forum. And of course, yeah, for the 10 World Water Forum, we set up a special sub team or maybe special session that more young professionals will get involved together and then discuss so many things, issues related to the water and the challenges that we have to overcome. I think so. By providing more opportunity for the young professional to get involved in international activity, for example, not just conference, and also the I think cooperation project and also internships become more strategic way. How can we bring young professionals to high level that we expect them to become? Yeah, the next future professional to get involved in water related issue. That's my response, Franzel. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnie. Okay, all the participants in this meeting room are welcome to share their thoughts. Okay, so feel free.
Maybe Anif Sulaiman can give more response. Go ahead.
Can I ask or maybe giving some input related about the young people engagement? For instance, in the specific project or specific institution, they want to mainstream youth in specific agenda or work plan they want to develop. And the engaging youth is really so easy because maybe young people really interested, have a passion to get involved in certain projects, especially in water issue and water activities, international or maybe nationally. But the matter is about the tokenism. I mean, the tokenism, it means like engaging young people only just for symbolic things. And after that, the young people cannot be sustainably engaged because the project or maybe the activities is finished. On the other hand, sometimes the young people voice and also agenda have not been mainstream in policy agenda, especially in high-level panels. So how to ensure, which is all of the institution who have the high power to change the policy or change every single institutional thing that they have to ensure, which is young people, it's one of the priority that should be mentioned in every single agenda in your institution or work plan or something like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, who next? Come on, Anif. Maybe Anif can. Oh, Pak Ahmad Taufik, go ahead.
Okay, Pak Firdaus, pardon, I really come in this forum. The good discussion. I follow your discussion. Yeah, I would like to inform to all of you here, mainly for GP in our AWC.